This is a human rights catastrophe. We have 1 million, possibly 2 million Uyghurs. And they're Muslims, Northwest China, ethnically Turkic, and they are in detention. They're in camps. Every Uyghur in Xinjiang, in Northwest China, has been blood tested. It's the first step on tissue matching. The other thing they did was DNA testing of the entire Uyghur population. Get about 15 million people. Now, Xinjiang is half Chinese, maybe more than half Chinese, Han Chinese. None of those people were tested, just the Uyghurs. They started building crematoriums. They announced they were going to build 9. This appeared in the Chinese press, not in the Uyghur press. The first one opened in Xinjiang. An ad appeared in the Chinese press, and it said, we need security guards. In fact, we need 50 security guards. And they were paying them $1,200 US a month. This is a spectacular amount of money. Then we have a dedicated live organ transplant lane in Urumqi Airport. This is, it's when you go into the airports in Asia and you often see a special lane for VIPs, okay, or something like that, or maybe for wheelchairs. This one's just for organs. And one of the most recent witnesses described the whole thing. She was a Uyghur woman, was from Kazakhstan, so that's how she got out, otherwise she would not be out. She described the women are kept together, and then they shave their heads, they strip them naked, they put a hood over their heads, and they chain their bodies, and then they give them medical exams. Everything is looked at in terms of liver function, kidney function, heart and lung. So EKGs, urine tests, the whole thing. The young women are then taken off to be raped. When the young women return, the guards go around and distribute orange wristbands. They cannot be removed, only to some women. Some are older, somewhat, not elderly, but somewhat older. Some are young. These women disappear one a day. Now, we don't know what happens to those women. We can't say, oh, well, they're definitely being organ harvested, but I think it's a good guess. Do you know how much these women are worth? If you strip a human being, healthy human being, 28-year-old, say, of their organs, and you sell it to a foreign organ tourist from Saudi Arabia, Japan, United States, Germany, you can make close to $1 million US, one person. Every province in China put together several competing hospitals, which all do transplants and vast scales, on an enormous scale. So we are looking at, we think, about 100,000, approximately 100,000 transplants being performed in China every year. That puts it way ahead of any other country. In America, it's more like 35,000. What you see is an unholy alliance between capitalism, state capitalism, and Chinese Communist Party totalitarianism, the desire to destroy one's enemies and make a profit through doing it, give it, incentivize it, make it entrepreneurial. These are people who are being killed in China are not political dissidents, they're not intellectuals, they're religious people. And there is a bias against religious people, and it mainly is on the left. The world is seeing it, and the worst part of this is that the world has seen this before and didn't stop it the first time, which is why we're seeing it again. So it happened with Fulan Gong. The world chose to ignore it. The world chose to believe Chinese reassurances. And now we are paying the price of that, because the Chinese have looked us in the eye and they have determined that we're weak, and as long as we are given a story, we'll believe it. That is where we are today. There are many, many great things about China's rise, but this is the dark side. And the problem here, I would say, for them is you're preventing your own rise. You're destroying your own rise because you're creating, again and again, you create these skeletons in the closet. They're doing this because you think these people are inferior. You don't think their lives are worth living. You feel the same way about the Tibetans to a great extent. This is a problem. This is a virus. What has been created in China is a weaponized virus, a very dangerous virus. In fact, we think it's already slipping into Vietnam and North Korea, okay? And it will slip further. And this will devalue all life. And we cannot be part of that.